I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 28th, 2018 regular meeting of the Guymon City Council. At this time, I'd like to call Father Mike from the Catholic Church to come up and give our invocation. Sergio's going to give you a better introduction.
Father Mike will be leaving us this week. He'll be heading to Chickasaw, right? You've been here. Chickasha. Been here 8 years. You're going to be missed. Greatly missed.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm glad that my rotation came up right at the end to be able to be privileged to do this one more time with you guys. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for being with us this evening with this gathered assembly today. We ask that you give them the wisdom and patience to deal with all that they must handle today and every day. We ask that you might bless our first responders in our city, that they too would receive a blessing today, those who keep us safe and protected. We ask that you bless our citizens, especially those who are poor and in need. May your blessings continue to reside over our city, keep us prosperous and in goodness. We ask all these things in Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Good luck. Well, this time I'm going to invite a special young man to come up and lead our pledge for us. He's about to get his Eagle Scout done, and he'll tell us about that later, so it's all yours.
Okay. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
All right. I'll call this meeting to order. Agenda item number 2 is attendance roll call.
Crone,
Here.
Alvidrez,
Here.
Swager, Livengood, Peterson,
Here.
Hoffman, Wagner,
Here.
Mr. Petty.
Here.
Agenda item number 3 is approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvidrez,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 4 is public comments and announcements, so we're going to let Jake come back up and tell us about his Eagle Scout. Is that his name?
Two weeks ago today, I conducted a flag retirement.
Tell us who you are so we can get it on the
Okay.
camera over there.
My
And you're on
name-
the camera over here.
Hello. My name is Jake Lamis, and I'm the son of Eric Lamis back there and Alka Lamis. They own the drive-in out of town. And I just conducted a flag retirement ceremony of 1,100 flags. We retired 1,100 in 3 hours with 40 or so guests, people that watched, spectators, and 40 or so helpers, adults included. And I thank you very much, City Council, and Mr. Mitch and your wife very much for providing the needs. Miss Sarah Wagner, Mitch's wife, Mr. Mitch's wife, provided 500 hot dogs, the buns, and the plates for the ceremony. 250 were cooked 2 weeks ago. It was June 14th, U.S. Flag Day, and the rest of the hot dogs were donated to the Guymon Fire Department. So we thank him again. Please give him a round of applause. Mr. Alvidrez donated firewood for the ceremony, and Mr. Chet cooperated in donating over 500 flags for the ceremony. The rest came from Texas County post offices, which included Texhoma, Goodwell, Guymon, Hooker, and Tyrone. I've sent thank you cards out to them, and as you have received a thank you card. And now I will give each of the city council members a grommet. Once the ashes are buried, we have to sift through the grommets, and you can do whatever with them. So as a thank you notion, I will give a grommet to each of the city council members and a thank you card to Mr. Mitch and his wife.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Jake.
I have some you gave me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you guys want to know?
Just whatever you want to tell us. It's all yours.
How are you coming on the Eagle project? What are you doing right now?
Okay, the project is complete, and now I'm working on paperwork. So I have to fill out a project plan, which is already filled out. It just needs to be edited. The project report is being edited right now, and I've sent out all the thank you cards. That has been finalized tonight, and I'm trying to think what else I've done. Project proposal has been proposed to the council, some of the council members, and they approved of the project. I had to do this in February-ish, and so I spoke with Mr. Vic Schrock. He is on the American Legion, and he proposed the idea of a flag retirement ceremony. So I had done one in September of 2017, and I figured with my experience already being there that I could conduct a second one for my Eagle Scout project. So there were already 400 or so flags at the Methodist Church accumulated from over 10 years in the past. So I retired those at my ceremony 2 weeks ago on June 14th, U.S. Flag Day. I invited the president, but, he didn't come. So I wrote in my letter that I would totally understand that security arrangements would be highly impossible, and due to his June 12th summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, that would also be very tight. So I do understand that he was unable to make it. My ceremony should be around my Eagle ceremony after I get all my paperwork finalized and my Eagle Board of Review done. That should be right after. I leave for Costa Rica next Thursday. It's a mission trip with the Guymon Nazarene Church. And after I get back from that, I should have my Eagle Board of Review. And all the paperwork will be done, and then my Eagle Scout ceremony will be scheduled in October for when my grandmother comes from Georgia. So again, thank you all to these wonderful members.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
I was gonna ask Jake where he buried the ashes, just to let everybody know.
At the American Legion.
All right, well, that's appropriate. I feel also he's accompanied tonight by some of our premier scout leaders in Guymon, and they've done an excellent job with our kids, and what more can you say except for their dedication and what these young people are doing. Other public comments and announcements. Well, I had one I was going to talk about what was really good in Guymon, but you took it away from me, buddy. That was the best thing that you could be happening in our community right now, have you, what you've done. Any other public comments or announcements?
Good job. Good job.
Agenda item number 5 is discussion and possible action on notice of hearing to declare property a public nuisance and order removal of trash, weeds, and grass, and set a date for completion of the work at the following property: Block 5 to 7 North 3rd of Block 8, Block 37 Guymon Original, also known as 206 North Academy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, we've been busy. This is yet another abatement issue before you. I might add that with this order, so I don't forget, the estimated cost for the cleaning work would be $1,500, and we would be looking at 30 days for that order to be set at. So the property that we're looking at, once again, is at 206 North Academy. We'll just show you some photographs of what, just a quick location map. I don't know where that is. We'll go ahead and show you. This is the property itself. This is how it was found, and if we could look at the next. gives you an idea of the amount of grass. Now, we're not talking about the structure here, we're just talking about weeds and grass. And that top left-hand photo is a little deceptive. You see that motorhome there? That is not on the property. That's actually the other side of the alley on the adjacent property. So if I could have you go to the next slide for me, please. Once again, this is of the back showing the weeds, and if we could go to the one after that. This went out there today, and once again, the weeds are high up with it. Nothing has been done. Staff was approached by, I guess that the property owners of record are both deceased. And so it's my understanding that we did receive a phone call from the daughter of the property owners, and that she does not have an interest in maintaining the property with that. So that's where we ask if we could go ahead and proceed with this. And after 30 days, if it's not clean, move forward with that.
Is the 30, I drove by there today, and in
Yeah.
30 days, you're going to have weeds 6 foot tall. And
Yeah.
the mosquito problem is 30 days a benchmark? Because no, we've had this property before us before, and nobody wants to claim ownership.
Sir, you could, that is what we do through our process is 30 days. But if the council chooses to move sooner with that, we would be able to do that.
Could we-
It's at your discretion.
Can we do it in 10 days? From that?
Can
from
we do it
days?
in less than that?
Yeah. From time of notice?
You know, we had a fire on that property on 4th of July a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it get done before 4th of July.
I would not be surprised. I don't know if we'd be able to pull that together before the 4th, but if, you know, we could see what we could do with that. If that's what the council would like, we'd be more than happy to do our best to get that done.
Well, this has been an ongoing deal for the last 3 or 4 years since she died, and nobody wants to take ownership or whatever of the property, or take, however you want it, responsibility. And due to the weather we've had and the insects and the mosquitoes, I think it's in the best interest of the neighborhood to get cleaned up rather than wait and have a mess. I'd like to proceed as fast as we can.
You usually have a cost associated with this.
That's what I said at the beginning. I'm
Okay.
sorry. The cost was $1,500 is the
$1,500.
estimated cost for that.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I jumped the gun because
That's okay.
I don't want to forget. So,
So, any other discussion, or somebody want to make a motion to include a time frame, or?
I'd make a motion that we declare the property a public nuisance and order removal of trash, weeds, and grass, and to do it as soon as possible for completion of the work at the following property, Lot 5 to 7, North 3rd of 8, Block 37, Guymon Original, AKA 206 North Academy.
Second.
Have a motion second.
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
thank you.
Mr. Moore.
We'll do our best to get that as quick as possible.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6 is discussion and possible action on modifying the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777 into grants 18AS and 18BS, authorizing the mayor of the city of Guymon to apply for and receive an Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant for the state project GUI-18A-S in the amount of $847,277, with a city match of $50,394 and a Federal Aviation Administration grant in the amount of $144,277, for a total project cost of $897,671 for the design and construction of the runway lights, ODALS system, the vault, wind cone, and signage project at the Guymon Municipal Airport, conditional upon receipt of both FAA and OAC grants, and also to take such other action in connection with the grant necessary to the completion of the project. Is there any discussion?
Council, just a little backstop. This is the same grant that was passed back in May. The one that I told y'all was kind of rare that we get it 2 years in a row. All we're doing with this is separating that $10,000 because after all work is completed, they do a flyover, which could be 6 months to a year after the project. So in separating the two grants, that $10,000 would go to that flyover. Same cost, the same everything, the 5%, nothing changed. We're just separating the grant. That way we can close out the majority once it's finished.
Okay. Any other questions? Motion?
If we have to read that, he may have a hard time getting a motion.
You don't have to read it. You say agenda item 8.
I make a motion that we, on the action on modifying Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777, item 6.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 7. Discussion and possible action on modifying the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777 into grant 18AS and 18BS. Authorizing the mayor of the city of Guymon to apply for and receive an Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant for state project GUI-18B-S in the amount of $99,500 with a city match of $500 for a total project cost of $10,000 for the design and construction of the runway lights, ODALS system, vault, wind cones, and signage project at the Guymon Municipal Airport, conditional upon the receipt of both FAA and OAC grants, and also to take such other action in connection with the grant necessary for the completion of the project.
And again, this is just the $10,000 that would go after that first grant is completed for the flyover.
I'll make a motion, we modify Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777, item number 7.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Crone.
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 8 is discussion and possible action on granting authority to the city manager to enter into contract with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott LLP for utility billing and court collections and providing notice to AMS of termination of services. Mr. Wagner.
Currently, we use a collection agency that's located outside of Dallas. And after going through AMS's contract and the services that are provided, they do both court and also our utility billing accounts. They have different things that I liked about it and some that I did not. And after meeting with Bill and what his company can produce for us, I feel it would be better on the collection rate side and also increase what the city would receive in past due. The main one is they are a law firm. It is a certified letterhead from a lawyer or the law firm that would be produced and given to those that are past due. And I will let Bill any elaboration before I steal your thunder.
No. Thanks, Mr. Wagner, for having me here. Like Mr. Wagner said, I am Bill Pinkham. I'm a partner with the law firm of Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott. I live in Amarillo now, but I grew up in Broken Arrow, went to college in Oklahoma, went to law school within the state of Oklahoma, and was a member of the Oklahoma Army National Guard. And the only reason I say that is I just want to say that it makes me proud to see young men like that doing what they're doing on Flag Day. But to get to back why we're here, we have been a law firm. We started in Amarillo 48 years ago, and our practice is exclusively focused on collection of government receivables. Now, in the state of Texas, that's typically property tax collection through judicial foreclosure, hence why we are a law firm. But that also extends to collection of delinquent fines and fees through municipal courts and collections of other receivables, such as the accounts Mr. Wagner mentioned, and that's what we specialize in. We represent over 400 courts and fine and fee collections, and we have been entrusted with a debt portfolio over $2 billion over the last 10 years. We represent over 2,000 clients throughout Texas, Oklahoma, now Kansas and New Mexico. And as Mr. Wagner said, we believe your current collection vendor is a AMS based out of Dallas. We have an office in Oklahoma City. And we've had clients switch within the state of Oklahoma. Woodward's probably the closest one to Guymon that has switched to us from AMS, and all of our client service references to us. We would encourage you to call them. But we think we provide a superior product to AMS, and I think our numbers show that. I provided Mr. Wagner with some collection numbers before our meeting. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to review them. But another service we provide that our competitors don't is we do the Oklahoma Tax Commission warrant intercept program for the municipal court. That's a service that requires a social security number along with other information be submitted to the Oklahoma Tax Commission. And once that's done, if the defendant has a tax return coming to them from the state, we're allowed to intercept that to satisfy the obligations owed to the city. That's a service that we provide above and beyond, I believe, what you're getting with AMS right now. And as I said, we have client numbers to prove it. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. I feel like I'm presenting oral arguments to the Supreme Court, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me this evening, and if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Have you guys ran any numbers on what the difference would be as far as costing us? Costing the city?
Our cost, we are completely cost neutral to the city. How we get paid is there is an add-on to the obligation already owed by the defendant. For example, if it's a $100 ticket, it's a 35% add-on. We would ask for the defendant to pay $135. $100 goes to the city, $35 goes to us. So we are completely cost neutral to the city.
Which is at the same rate that we are currently. AMS is 35%.
35%?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Motion?
I entrust our city manager into this, and I'm going to make a motion that we grant the authority of city manager to enter into contract with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott LLP, option 8, item 8.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
You've got 3 ayes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Everybody
you
have a
so
good
much.
evening.
Thank you for your time.
Agenda item number 9 is discussion and possible action to authorize for bids on removal of scrap metal from the City of Guymon transfer station. And the bids are attached.
It's been piling up. We've got a pretty good stack out there at this point, and we need to get rid of it. It's just more and more, and we've got enough at this point. I think that it would bring in some people that would be interested in it.
Is this similar contract to what we've done in the past? The bid notice? is
Yes,
similar to what we've done in
that's,
the past?
yeah. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before where we did it, but it was the same thing.
I make a motion that we authorize to advertise for bids on removal of scrap metal from the City of Guymon transfer station, item 9.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 10 is discussion and possible action to authorize to advertise for bids on sale of scrap metal as declared surplus.
We've already declared this surplus. It's just going out for bids on it, and this is more with the copper, brass from old water meters and the things of that nature that have been collected. So we just need to go out for bids on that.
Okay.
Make a motion that we authorize to advertise for bids on sale of scrap metal as declared surplus, item 10.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 11 is discussion regarding the request of VI to close the Guymon business office. They have a letter attached.
So I was approached by a Mr. Charles Hembry, and he was asking about the agreement that was passed many, many years ago on if they could close their office. And that's 2 blocks down. I didn't know. I've reviewed and I informed him that it is actually in the agreement that states part of the deal was they had to have an office and it had to be open. I got a letter back, which is before you, that they're asking for the okay to shut down their office located within the city. And I just put it on as a discussion to see if that's an interest of the council.
How would this affect their customers? Do you have any idea?
I don't, I mean, and I'm not for sure on what the traffic flow is at this point there. They say that you can pretty much, there's a call line and also a website that you can get to. But as far as the effect on the customers, I just don't know.
Will they maintain a technician here if they close the office down?
Yeah, from what Charles told me, he just wants to close the office up front, and the building would still be there because they have the shop in the back, and I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they might have other technicians in other parts besides Guymon that might come in. I'm not for sure.
Well, it's this discussion, so.
Right.
Mr. Petty, would there be anything of a legal basis requiring them to have an office open?
Well, I think the idea of requiring, my recall is the idea of requiring an office presence here was to ensure that there would be personnel to service the public customers. I think that was the idea, and maybe that'll continue. I don't know exactly what the plan is. The contract runs through 2023, so it's got another 5 years on it. In the event that council was inclined to grant the request, you might want to consider amending the term to make it an annual basis so that in the event there wasn't upkeep, that you could terminate, you would not renew it for an additional year. But maybe that's not a concern. I'm probably need information about what their plans are for maintenance. But I think that'd be the big thing.
Right.
I don't expect very many people drop by that office to make their payment. Maybe they do. And that may have been what they had, that may have been the practice in the past.
I guess my point in the discussion would be, I think we need to require them to follow up. They've been rather lax on their upkeep and maintenance on poles, and we've had to kind of force them to get some things done over the last year or two.
I don't think we've had much of a report on what they've done either. I mean, they've been here and promised us they were going to do this and this and this on poles and lines and what have you. And as far as I know, they have never come back to give us any report on what they've done. And I think that would kind of
We can talk about it.
something that I'd be looking at if I had to vote.
You can visit with them, and then we can put it back on the agenda and for an action item at a later time.
I can. Just really trying to get a feel on if this is not anything that y'all would like to pursue. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's in there. It's all it states is in Section 8 with the business office that they are to maintain an office in the city, and it has to be open during all business hours, usual business hours, have a telephone, and be so operated that complaints and requests for repairs or adjustments may be received during usual business hours and investigated and resolved properly. So that's what Mr. Petty would, I mean, that'd be the section we would amend if that was the will of the council.
Okay. Anybody have anything else on number 11? Any new business? We'll stand adjourned as the Guymon City Council. We'll go to the Utilities Authority. Thanks for next one. Everybody there? Call to order this meeting of the Utilities, Guymon Utilities Authority. We've already done agenda item number 2. Agenda item number 3 is discussion and possible action on approval of invoice 784 to TCEC in the amount of $5,395.45 for the lift station rehabilitation project. Invoice is attached.
This was the one that y'all approved, I believe it's 2 meetings ago, when I told y'all that we needed to upgrade it and go to a 3-phase because it was single phase for the safety of any sort of backflow going at, in the event it goes down, we can turn on a switch and we can operate still even if we don't have the power, but it won't backflow the line. That was what y'all granted me to do. This is the invoice for it.
Okay.
Any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve invoice number 784 to ECEC in the amount of $5,395.45 for the lift station rehabilitation project, item number 3.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Crone.
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 4 is discussion and possible action on approval of change order number 2 for the increase of $10,710 to Cobalt Construction for the 8-inch force main and lift station project. Change order 2 is attached.
So the reason for this change order, when we were doing the work, we got to an 18-inch line and that had been there currently and realized there was a gap in it, a crack, and it was something that we had to repair. Since we exposed it, we needed to fix it at that point. At first, the bids that were coming in were high, and I really thank Rick and Tracy for working this out to make it to where they came up with solutions and got it down to this number, because I can tell you it was almost 3 times higher at the first initial of what we thought it was going to cost. And luckily that is, and they did that in a day. I mean, they moved on it and got it completed. So, but since we came to it and it was already cracked, we knew we had issues, and that's why we had to repair it and change order.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
Make a motion that we approve change order number 2 for an increase of $10,710. Cobalt Construction for the 8-inch force main lift station project, item 4.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 5 is discussion and possible action on approval of the contractor's application for payment number 6 to Slattery Construction in the amount of $119,872.42 for the lift station rehabilitation project. Application for payment number 6 is attached.
So lift station 13, this is the final payment. This one is completed and it is done. That's part of the 2015 A-note. They will be moving to the lift station by the football field. That is their next project, going that way. But this finishes out number 13.
Okay. Any questions? Motion?
It's just a consistent.
Right, it's part of the cost within the whole process, and it breaks down as much as they go through what they've done, and this is the final payment for that one. And then they'll go on to the next lift station. So I think so far, number 14 lift station is done, 100% paid. 1 and 10 material is in the process. I mean, they're kind of all over, but this is 13 and it is completed, so you won't see another one pertaining to lift station 13. But yes, it's just the working process of how many, it kind of goes in phases.
Make a motion, we approve contractor's application for payment number 6 to Slattery Construction in the amount of $119,872.42 for the lift station rehabilitation project, item number 5.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Crone.
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 6 is new business. 7 is, we're going to move 7 to after the airport authority. So we'll adjourn as the Guymon Utilities Authority. We'll go to the Guymon Airport Authority. Huh?
Good luck.
Good luck. You're not going to, you want to read it for me?
No, that's you.
Might have to get a drink of water in the middle. Okay, I'll call this meeting in order. Need to approve the minutes of the special meeting of June 14th, 2018.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of special meeting June 14, 2018, item 2.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Okay, agenda item number 3 is discussion. I've already read this twice, but we'll read it one more time. Is discussion and possible action on modifying the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777 into grants 18A-S and 18B-S, authorizing the mayor of the city of Guymon to apply for and receive an Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant for state project GUI-18A-S in the amount of $847,277 with a city match of $50,394 and a federal aviation administrative grant in the amount of $144,277 for a total project cost of $897,671 for the design and construction of the runway lights, ODALS system, vault, wind cone, and signage project at the Guymon Municipal Airport, conditional upon receipt of both FAA and OAC grants, and also to take such other action in connection with the grant necessary to the completion of the project.
I make a motion that we modify the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant to the amount of $856,777, item 3.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 4 is discussion and possible action on modifying the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant in the amount of $856,777 into grants 18A-S and 18B-S, authorizing the mayor of the city of Guymon to apply for and receive an Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant for state project GUI-18B-S in the amount of $9,500 with a city match of $500 for a total project cost of $10,000 for the design and construction of the runway lights, ODALS system, vault, wind cone, and signage project at the Guymon Municipal Airport, conditional upon receipt of both FAA and OAC grants, and also to take such other action in connection with the grant necessary to the completion of the project.
I make a motion that we modify the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission state grant to the amount of $856,777, item 4.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
We've got 3 ayes.
Agenda item number 5 would be any reports from city manager or city council members. Anybody have anything?
Want me to go first?
You get to go
Okay.
for it.
I gave you all a list of the OMAG nominees, and the two that received the most votes was Mike Bailey and Craig Stevenson. Those were we actually voted for Craig. He was one of ours whenever we brought it before council, and he's the one that sent y'all the letter asking for it, so we're happy to see that he got his vote nominated. The burn ban has been lifted. I was informed, Chief McFadden called me yesterday and told me that it in fact has been lifted, so as much rain as we've gotten, that has certainly helped our part of the world, and hopefully we get a somewhat peaceful 4th of July coming up next Wednesday. We'll cross your fingers, and hopefully the rain will continue as well. I wanted to add on, we had 54 kids in junior golf this summer. I didn't get to report on that last council meeting, but that was a great turnout, and from what I understand, a lot of positive comments, and I'm getting a lot of them as well for the golf course, as it's looking really good, and of course the rain has helped, but we'll take it anytime. So, and I wanted to say thanks to PTCI. They fed the city of Guymon for a luncheon on Tuesday, and that was Sean Barbary, Emmanuel De Herrera, and Jason Epp, and they gave us a great meal, and we certainly appreciate it. And also, I didn't know if Sergio was going to hit on it, but I'm going to steal his thunder because Prairie Dog Park has been painted, and it looks a whole lot better. They've done a lot of work on it, and I want to say thank y'all for adopting the park, and any help that we can get from the city standpoint, it's a great thing to see. And also, in final closing, I heard it was the mayor's birthday, so I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Well,
But
thank you.
to steal your thunder, there's somebody else who is turning 40 today?
39.
39. Lavona's birthday, so I wanted to wish y'all both a happy birthday.
Well,
My
thank you.
goodness.
Other than that, that's all I got.
If I'd have known Lavona, I'd baked a cake for you.
Yeah, you kept that pretty well secret.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
to do that.
I want to touch on what Mr. Wagner, I wanted to thank PTCI for funding. We used 19 gallons of paint out there at Prairie Dog Park. OPSU and their program, Terry Morris program of the Upward Bound program. They were out there June 19th, 20th, and the 26th. They were out there helping us paint. We had about 20 volunteers. We didn't think it was going to take this long, but it did. Pete Hedrick and whoever he had out there with him today, I believe George was out there with IBTS, the city of Guymon, helping. He helped us quite a. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't get it done because of the brushes and all the utilities needed for that, all the equipment needed, because it took took 5 days, the 14th, the 19th, 20th, 26th, and today finally got done. So a big round of applause to Pete Hedrick and whoever helped him out today in getting that adopted park program project done. So, thank you.
Thank you.
One thing that I wanted to bring up, just an FYI to all the people, the American Legion banner program, I haven't had a whole lot to do with it, even though I've gotten credit for it. But it's my understanding that we are going to take the banners and the flags down after the 4th of July. We've been having a little trouble with some of the brackets. We need to see if we can figure out what causing the brackets to come loose. And we don't want to get anything damaged, so we're going to do a little investigation and see what we can come up with. And so don't get all nervous. We are going to take the flags and the banners down. But they will go back up sometime around Labor Day and stay up until Veterans Day. So I want to thank the city employees that have helped with that and done a wonderful job on it. So
It's a great project. Had a lot of comments from a few of the groups that have been through Guymon while it's been up. Well, all I've got is one thing, and it's, of course, 4th of July. It's our national celebration of our heritage. And again, Charity Hedrick and her, Charity Hitch now, I'm sorry, I call her Charity Hedrick. My apologies, Charity. They're putting together their 4th of July program down at the park again. They're going to have activities for the kids, bike contest and the decorated dog contest. And I don't know if you can bring a cat down there or not. I guess you're on your own on that deal if you want to decorate a cat. But I was down there last year. The mayor's wife hasn't decided if she's going to let the mayor take the bike out again. If I do ride it down the hill, somebody's going to have to bring a pickup and get me back up it. But anyway, it's a wonderful start to celebrate your 4th of July. And burn ban's been lifted, and I know we're going to have some folks that are going to be setting off firecrackers and fireworks. It would be remiss if we didn't remind you that aerial fireworks are against the ordinances in the city of Guymon, but people still tend to set them off. But have a wonderful 4th of July. Have a wonderful holiday. Celebrate the spirit of America and the spirit of Oklahoma and the spirit of Guymon, because our freedom it came at a price, and we need to celebrate the folks that paid that price. So if anybody have anything else? If not, we'll stand adjourned.
Thank you.